You're listening to Startup Stories on Good Morning Delhi with Sarthak.
And what a lovely thing you're doing, listening, according us that pleasure. It's always nice to be heard in these times. And if you're listening to stories of other people's passions and what makes it tick, those who have literally taken that leap of faith, that's what Startup Stories is all about. And today, of course, the one who jumped straight into it, Smita is, of course, the one behind Absolute Water. What it does is takes untreatable water and makes it potable. Oh my God, POTABE, not PORTABE, which is of course also something that you can do with the water. But Smita, thank you very much for joining us. Tell us, the bug bit, the startup bug bit a little late, didn't it?
Hi, Sarthak. Thank you for inviting me. Yeah, actually it did. I've always been an entrepreneur, but this was something that I wanted to do personally. It was a personal story, I think, more than anything else, because where we live in Delhi, one would think that it's a affluent society, so to speak.
Sure.
But a lot of the times, the municipal water supply used to get mixed with the sewage water, and that's literally what's coming in your showers.
Sure.
And that's exactly what you're drinking and eating, and
Yeah.
it's on your body. And we were suffering from mysterious diseases that we couldn't understand.
Sure.
And on the other hand, it was the industrial sewage that was what we call sludge in technical terms, which was also polluting groundwater.
Sure.
So we wanted to come up with something that was nature-based, that could treat sewage, treat untreated water, and make it potable to the fact. And it was done without any chemicals whatsoever.
I mean, it would have been rather ironic to use chemicals to counter chemicals, but
Exactly.
as our wonderful Sanskrit scholars have said, Visham Vishmotasya, the poison is poison's cure. But no, you're actually, this sounds horribly technical though. I mean, they're very intimidating and all of that, no? But you managed to sort of cut through the clutter, yeah?
Yeah. Also because I'm not from a technical background. I didn't even do science in school, but and that's exactly the reason why we created this very, very simplistic method of treating sewage and treating grey water. And we wanted to make it easy enough so that it could be operated by absolutely anybody.
Right.
So you don't need an educated person, you don't need a prior skilled person.
Sure.
So yeah, I mean, it's completely nature based. We use worms, we use gravel stones, we use sand, and we use a natural form of disinfection called ozonation, which is the ozone gas.
Right.
That protects the planet.
Sure.
So, yeah.
And this is portable? I mean, you can have it in your homes, etc., etc.?
Yes, absolutely. You can have it in your homes, industry, colleges, resorts, hotels, you name it, because that's exactly, we have 25 installations in the country right now.
And is there a website or something that people can go to get more information?
Absolutely. It's www.absolutewater.in.
Smita, the whole thing about, there's always a bit of a barrier, no? A knowledge barrier when you say, oh, we've taken untreatable water and then we've treated it and it's good enough for you to drink. There's many memes and usually lack of knowledge is quoted in putting people down, no? So you've had to face that?
All the time.
Hana?
It's been 6 years and it's all the time. So it's one of the biggest barriers we had to kind of cut through. It was one of the biggest hurdles because literally we've been told onto our face कि आप हमें toilet का पानी पिला रहे हो. Simple as that.
Exactly.
That's literally what it is.
Sure.
So the point is, and of course, we live in a country that's so culturally and religiously inclined that it becomes a little difficult, like in the sense, like how to explain that the pipelines that come into your homes are literally the same. It's coming from the same one source.
Sure.
So it's not like kitchen is alag and, your bathroom is alag and or anything like that. But at the end of the day, we kind of realized that maybe drinking water would be one of the aspects of it, but let's, create water that can be substituted.
Yeah.
So everything from groundwater recharging to agriculture construction, toilet flushing up to bathing.
Sure.
So that became far more acceptable, and I think that's when we really got traction.
And that's the thing, no? I mean, it's about, as far as water is concerned, it's about this or that. The first thing that you think about clean water is that, drinking.
Yeah.
But there's other things that clean water is needed for. I mean,
Absolutely.
when you're taking a shower, you need to be a little careful about what you're putting on.
It's
on
70%. It's
Yeah.
70% of human usage other than
Absolutely.
drinking. Drinking is literally 5 liters of your day.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
there is another 42 liters that you need for everything else.
Absolutely. 5 liters, and that's if you're very, very diligent as well. So-
Exactly. For having your 8 glasses.
Yes. Again, air quotes
Air
are making
quotes.
quite a bit of an appearance in the conversation. But so tell me what happens. Like, I go to Absolute Water, I say, okay, I want the solution.
Yes.
So what happens? What's the process?
So it's very simple. We can treat anything from as minimum as 5,000 liters a day.
Mm-hmm.
So that's everything for a household or residential area, going all the way up to 2 million liters a day. So
Sure.
we're one of the only green technologies that kind
Right.
of do large scale treating.
Okay.
So yeah, it's very simple. You give us what kind of population that your area has, what are the number of people that are using that area. So for example, if it's an office building, we tell me, okay, there are 100 people who are here.
Sure.
So then we do a calculation, which is a WHO standard calculation
Right.
of 55 liters per person. So we calculate that, we create the capacity, and then we come and set it up for you.
Great.
And we have also, what should I say, modeled our plants, designed our plants as per space constraints.
I see.
So for a building office, we could set up a modular plant.
So you have these fancy boxes that become small and big according to things and all that.
Not really, no.
How does
We
that
have,
work? Yeah.
So that it's really simple. It's basically if we were looking at the Radio 1 office, for
Yeah,
example,
yeah.
And you have a rooftop space, we can set up a modular plant, which is
Okay.
just a fabricated, vertical
Sure.
setup, and everything just gets treated there.
Right.
And within an hour and a half, you get treated water that you can use for the whole day.
But clean water, certainly something that we all need, and that was the problem statement. Air quotes again. Problem statement was that only for you, no?
Yes,
Huh?
yes.
But we're living in the world of social media, Smita. So it's only proper that we ask you to do a listicle of 3 to 5 points about what you have learned from your startup journey and what you'd like to tell those who are taking their first tentative steps in that same field that you are in.
I think like most of what people would say and who are still stuck in is just be brave. Is definitely one. Don't give up, and have full faith in what you do. Because I think that's what gives you the confidence. I mean, we're not talking about like fake confidence, but we're talking about real confidence.
Yeah.
And that really comes from the belief of what you're doing. Passion, of course, everybody has passion, but I would not state that as one of the things. But
Sure.
yeah, I mean, just be very clear about what you're trying to communicate. That's extremely important. Because if you don't do that clearly, the person who's listening to you or wants to understand what you do will be unable to.
That's important.
So that's very, very important. And of course, just don't give up and be brave. And that's pretty much what
Yeah.
it is all about.
And these words coming from someone who has lived these words,
Yes.
walked that talk. And a very important thing, passion everyone has, but it's the application bit that's important to remember, is it not? Absolutewater.in, ABSOLUTEWATER.in, in case spellings are a bit of a problem. But then there's always Google who'll ask, what did you mean? So it's okay. But Smita, thank you very much for sharing so generously of your journey. And we wish you all the best, because water is a resource that we all need to be a little more careful about, all of us.
Yes.
And to make that a little cleaner in more ways than one is certainly a noble intention. So thank you very much for that.
Thank you, Sarthak. It's been a pleasure. And like I say, and I would love for everybody to practice that, to make every drop count, because that's important.
Absolutely. And sometimes the elegance of simplicity works. So make every drop count. Remember that. And we're making this this break count so that you can think, chew on that food for thought a little before we come back after this short little break right here on 94.